Good morning, everyone. I'm Michael Kovnat, and this is the Next Big Idea Daily, where we bring you key insights from some of today's smartest nonfiction writers. So it's Tuesday, and if you're like a lot of people, you're already looking forward to your weekend. But why should it be that way? Why can't Tuesdays be just as enjoyable as Saturdays? What if work could actually be fun? Leadership consultant Bree Groff thinks it can and should be. After years advising everyone from Google to Calvin Klein, she's figured out what makes great workplaces tick. In her new book, Today Was Fun, a book about work, seriously, she explores how to stop wishing away the work week and start making each day, yes, even Tuesday, feel more alive. Here's Bree to share her big ideas.
Hey, it's Bree, author of Today Was Fun. I'm a company culture, engagement, and leadership consultant and have guided executives at companies including Calvin Klein, Google, Hilton, Microsoft, and Atlassian. The insights in Today Was Fun stem from my professional experiences, but they're also born of my own grappling with how I want to spend my days. I remember sitting in the waiting room at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center with my mom, hoping desperately that her oncologist could give her every last day possible. And then talking to a friend from work telling me she couldn't wait for this week to be over. The different attitudes towards the value of our days was striking. It became very clear to me, when we wish away the work week, we wish away our lives. What would it take for us to, can you even imagine, look forward to Mondays? So I'm going to share with you 5 key insights from Today Was Fun, in the hopes it helps you love your days. Most work, most days, should be fun. So much about the working world is patently ridiculous. It's not normal to be too busy to eat. It's not normal to look at email before you look at the partner lying beside you every morning. It's not normal to choose being high-performing over happy. And it's definitely not normal to enjoy 2/7 of our lives each week. So no, I don't believe work needs to be drudgery. I also don't believe it needs to be our religion or identity or the sum of our fulfillment. That end of the spectrum, while sometimes invigorating, is an easy recipe for burnout. Work can, instead, simply be fun. A nice way to spend our time on the planet. Because work at its simplest is fundamentally enjoyable. We don't get paid because work is painful and people wouldn't do it otherwise. We get paid because we create value. The pain is entirely optional. It's fun to create something others appreciate, to show off our skills, to learn and experiment, to build next to people we like. Sure, not every day will be fun, but when we falsely equate struggle with greatness, we've guaranteed we're either happy or successful, but never both. And it's simply not true. Consider Kati Kariko, the famed mRNA researcher whose work led to the development of the COVID-19 vaccines. As she would dash off to the lab, her husband would tell her, "You are not going to work. You are going to have fun." Or take Milton Glaser, the renowned designer of I Heart New York fame, who, when asked why he kept working at age 87, replied, "I do it because it's so pleasurable for me. I derive this deep, deep satisfaction that nothing else, including sex, has ever given me." I mean, that is a strong endorsement for fun at work. So if work can indeed be fun, how do we start making it so? Well, first, we need to lose the notion that we must be super profesh. Your brain works, whether you're wearing a suit or stretchy pants. Somewhere along the way, we decided to equate being professional with being well-dressed and well-groomed, rather than doing high-quality work on time with respect. We've confused being professional with looking professional. Work is in many ways performative, and I understand why. No one really knows what they're doing, and yet our ability to get things done rests on other people believing that we do. So, we've created symbols of professionalism that we use to telegraph our competency. We wear tailored suits so that we look like what society tells us business people look like. Or we use buzzwords and jargon to obscure our lack of clear thinking. It's silly. Can we just decide the new professionalism means being respectful and actually good at our work, whether or not we're wearing a zipper? Also, it's really no fun. Who wants to be literally buttoned up and proper all day long? Why should work be a costume party? When we get dressed for work in the morning, the last thing most people want to put on is a business mask. That way of being that allows us to be seen as palatable, presentable, and acceptable within the dominant business culture. An employee I interviewed at one client shared, the feedback was focused on delivery, not content. We've gotten better, but still have work to do around embracing people, their styles. And another said, there shouldn't be one template of what a successful leader is. Now, you might think, sure, some tech startup or creative agency can be casual and spunky and fun, but serious business demands proper professionalism. But consider perhaps the most serious of all workplaces, the operating room. Dr. Peter Attia, author of Outlive and former Johns Hopkins surgeon, recounts, surgeons are often listening to music in the OR, but we only listen to that CD of Napoleon Dynamite clips. For an entire month, we never stopped laughing at this thing. People always ask when I tell this story, did it compromise the outcomes? And I will say that there was a period of 3 days when we did 13 kidney transplants. Every one of those patients had a remarkable achievement outcome. If surgeons are having fun while people's lives are on the line, you can definitely have fun in your next budget meeting. Shoveling shit is fun if you like your co-shovelers. There is loads of research that shows friendship at work drives business outcomes. Let's take that for granted. I'm far more interested in the argument that friendship at work drives I'm enjoying my life outcomes. Because what good is a strong bottom line if everyone's miserable? If we know relationships are the secret to long-term human happiness, why do we pretend it's any different at work? You should like the people you spend your days with. Plain and simple. In the show The Office, the imaginary organization Dunder Mifflin is a paper sales company. An absolutely brilliant choice for its extreme dullness. The point of the show was not to showcase purpose at work or passion, or even the opposite, that work sucks. It was to show that even without purpose and passion, work doesn't suck. And that's because of the people. The office workers at Dunder Mifflin all kind of hated each other, except for a few notable romances, but they made their own fun nonetheless. From the dullest of scenes, HR presentations, and fire safety protocols, came all kinds of hilarity. I'm very aware that some of the jokes didn't age well, but I think the sentiment remains. Work is fun if we, together, make it that way. Make brilliant work. Don't let busyness and conformity sabotage you. We should do brilliant work because it drives business, because it creates value. But even cooler than either of those reasons is that doing brilliant work makes us feel alive. That's a really cool part of being a human, that we get to play around on the planet and try and make stuff that makes others happy. In the most beautiful version of work I know, we're just all big kids shouting, "Hey, watch this, look what I can do." It's simply fun. And yet, two things get in the way of brilliant work: busyness and conformity. Busyness can be a strategy problem. You aren't prioritizing what drives your business and are making yourself busy with too many side quests. It can be a power problem. that managers need to constantly coordinate and are therefore making those actually doing the work attend 17 status meetings a week. Or it can be a psychology problem. It feels good to be busy because busy means I'm in demand, I'm needed. It can also be an escape from the rest of life. But brilliance requires spaciousness, slack. Busyness is fight or flight, while brilliance is sitting in the meadow dreaming about your innovative new shelter. What does it take for us to simply sit and think once in a while? Conformity is equally dominating and alluring. Making our work look like everyone else's work is a form of safety. I'm just doing it how we've always done it, don't blame me. But what happens when we honor our own instincts first and lead with creative confidence? Take the acclaimed and definitely non-conforming screenwriter Stanley Kubrick. Someone once asked him if it was usual for a director to spend so much time lighting each shot. He said, "I don't know. I've never seen anyone else light a film." He trusted in himself, a skill that can sometimes take a whole career to learn. Now, you may not want a whole organization filled with Stanley Kubricks who are definitely not getting their expense reports done on time. But truly anyone can learn to be brilliant in at least some aspect of their work. Whether they're a barista making latte art, an HR manager creating a training, or a CEO setting a strategy, there is always some opportunity for human expression. And that's the fun stuff. Get good at life, not just work. The trouble with work is that it can be greedy. Sometimes you may work too much because that's what the job requires. Other times it might be because you find it fun and even addicting. But either way, there's a cost and it can't be avoided. When you overwork, you underlive. And that's no fun. Our time is finite. And if more is spent working, less is spent on date nights, crossword puzzles, your health, or many other parts of your life that are important to you. Under no circumstances should you take your laptop on your date night in a quest to have it all. It's worth remembering. You are more important than you think to those who love you. You are less important than you think to those who employ you. Even leaders of nations are replaceable. But it can be hard to keep overworking tamped down if we don't see how much there is to gain. If we're not reveling in all the other beautiful parts of our lives. We were at the beach one day when my husband Brad said to a friend of ours, "It was so nice to have a day to do nothing." Our friend responded, "Nothing? When was the last time you had lobster for lunch and swam so vigorously in the sea? You did everything." Of course, Brad was referring to having done no work, the measure of how productive we are for business or society. When I think of a day I did everything, I used to think of a day when I ran around hyper-efficiently getting things done. But that's not the kind of everything life I want now. I want the kind of everything life where I have time to sing the ridiculous wake-up song to my daughter in the morning, where I belly laugh with colleagues instead of getting right down to business. Maybe some everything days are grand and filled with lobster in the sea, while some are small and sweet and filled with time to read and walk and cook with my family and totally mess up the recipe, but it doesn't really matter. I want that kind of everything life. Perhaps you do too. The kind of life where I curl up at night and think, today was fun.
Thank you, Bree. Okay, everyone, pick up a copy of Today Was Fun using the link in the episode notes. That's our show for the day. If you got something out of it, please leave us a rating or review in your podcast player. We'd really appreciate it. And head over to the App Store to download the Next Big Idea app. That'll give you access to thousands of big ideas right in your pocket. I'm Michael Kovnat, and I hope to see you tomorrow.